Alright, we're working. So I am out here at the Schuylkill River. It's down there behind me. We're going to be doing some exploring on the kayak this morning. I brought 3 rods. We're going to do some fishing. I also brought the magnet fishing setup. If you're watching the replay, you can skip ahead a couple minutes because we're just going to be setting up the foldable kayak here in the first couple minutes of this live, and then hopefully we have some people come in. We can do some nice chatting while we're out here as well. I'm going to get everything set up here, and then we'll head out onto the river. Anybody in here yet? Nope, still by myself. We got our foldable kayak. Take this down to the river. Alright, I'm going to walk that down there. I'll be back in a second. Alrighty, I'm back. Let's see if we got anybody in here. We got 4 people in here. Look at that. Let's see what chat's doing. Alright, nobody's chatting yet, but we got 4 people in here. Thanks for stopping in. Let me know who all is watching. Grabbing the rods now. So does anybody... Move that. Don't need any strange comments in here. We got 8 people in here. 1 thumbs up. Thanks for stopping in. We're going to be doing some kayak exploring on the river this morning. A little bit of fishing, a little bit of magnet fishing, paddling around, seeing what we can find. Looking at some of these beautiful fall colors up on the trees. Gonna grab the rods and we should be ready to go. What's wrong there? Has FD. Heading down here. Yeah, I saw the weird comment too. I removed it, so hopefully we don't have to see that for other people just coming in. Sorry about that. I appreciate you stopping in. Hopefully you're here to see some fishing instead of make some weird comments. So we got somebody set up with some carp gear here. Looks like he's caught a carp and it's on the stringer, actually, which is super awesome. I'm not sure I'd eat carp out of the river here, but yeah, I mean, to each their own. I'm going to set up the kayak here. Eddie, not a problem. Just, we try and keep it generally family friendly and as not weird as possible, so try and limit that. Alrighty. So, this morning. I see you got one carp. It's a pretty good one. Alrighty, so we got this here. This is my folding kayak. We're gonna unfold it, show you guys how I set it up, and then we're gonna head out there on the water with it. And yeah, it should be a good morning. Not a lot of wind. The current on the river right now is really low because we're kind of in a nationwide drought, so not a lot of water pushing through here. It should be really nice kayaking conditions. Bring this down here. Turn the camera a little bit. There we go. Should be able to see me now. Check the chat here. Awesome. Yeah, Wendy, Stuart, my mom's in here. Sweet, we're setting up the foldable kayak. I'm not sure I've ever actually unfolded it and set it up fully on camera before. I have a whole video about this kayak. I've fished it in multiple videos, including my most recent video on the channel, but I'm not sure I've ever actually set it up on camera, so here you go. Would you mind if I move this rod real quick? Move your drop in your stuff there. Awesome. Thank you. Alrighty. 8 people in here, 4 thumbs up, thank you. Stuart's in here. Sweet. Alrighty. Am I going to swim? No, I'm going to take the kayak out here in the Schuylkill River. 16 people in here, sweet. I'm going to flip the camera around real quick. Give me a second. So here is this carp that nice gentleman behind me has caught. Not going for carp this morning, but on Thursday of this upcoming week, Halloween, I'm going to be doing a fishing live here at the river to where carp are definitely a real possibility. So it's good to know that there are big ones in here at the current moment. Right there. US Snipes says, I'm going to sub, sweet. So here we got the folding kayak. For those of you guys who were in here from the beginning, you saw it was just like a little rolled up tote kind of thing, but now it's in its kayak form. We got to get the seat set up and then we should be ready to go out on the water. Here's the seat. You just fold it in half and slide it in there and then strap it down. This one side does not want to click in for whatever reason. Oh, there you go. Now we're good. Now we got to put this strap in. And then this strap here, we set up like this to where it kind of cradles the seat, the back of the seat, and keeps it from folding back over backwards. So this is kind of the support on the back of the seat. It's a cool little thing, isn't it? What'd you use for the carp? Pack bait?
Yeah.
Yep. That's a good one. It's probably what, close to 10 pounds, something like that?
Yeah.
I've done a lot of carping elsewhere. I haven't done much in the river, but on Thursday during Halloween, I'm going to do another live on my channel, and I'm going to come out at night for catfish and hopefully some carp too. So it's good to know that they're still in here. You know? I got this strap all twisted. There you go. Alright. So here you go, 27 people in here, that's awesome. So there's our seat set up now. As you can see, that's what I'm talking about it cradling the seat back there with the strap. That's what it looks like. Now we gotta get it loaded up and we'll get on the water. Alrighty. First thing going in is the magnet fishing stuff. Water. Tackle box. Life jacket. Floating net. Then we get our rods. Now we got to find a way to get you guys rigged up. How much money for you to jump in? Well, my mom's in the chat, so that would have to be a question for her, because she's the one who has to do the laundry. I mean, I do my laundry sometimes, but... So I think I'm going to do you guys like this. Just like that. Get it locked in with this strap. And then we'll try that on for size. 50 people in here, that is awesome. Alright, now what we got to do is we got to get the kayak in the water, and I got to get in the kayak without falling into the water, so we'll see how that goes. It's going to make a whole bunch of noise for a second. Fair warning. Excuse me, sir. Do you want to pull the stringer that way, or are you comfortable with me just putting in here and riding over top of it? Does it matter? If I had another good spot to put in, I would, but this is the only boat launch here. Sorry about that. Good carp, though. Thank you, sir. Alright, let's see how we do this. Oh boy. Alright, well we're in. Gotta do a little bit of adjustment in some places. There you go. Make sure the tripod's standing up straight. Get moving. Alright. Out on the river, make sure we don't hit any line. I'm just gonna go straight out. Alright. Once I'm out here a ways, I can check chat, see what's been going on. And yeah, we'll see what's happening. I'm just gonna go straight to the other side so I don't deal with any of this guy's line. The river is so calm right now, I can't even tell which direction the current's actually flowing from the river. I know downstream is that way, but you couldn't infer that from the river. It feels like there's literally no current. It's like a lake right now. It's pretty crazy. 59 people in here. Look at that. That's awesome. Make sure I get you guys sturdy in there so you're not moving around. Stuart's asking people to subscribe. Good luck, thank you. Sweet. I gotta straighten this out a little bit. There we go. Alright, 49 people in here. Awesome. Sweet. Alright. That's gonna be perfect. We're gonna get moving. I'm gonna go downstream first so that when maybe I'm a little bit tired and having to work against the very minimal current, we can come back upstream and just drift back down to our starting point. So we're gonna go this way first. It's quite bright out. I probably should have brought some sunglasses, but it is what it is. Hopefully it's looking good for y'all. 48 to go, sweet. So what Stuart's referring to is as soon as I get to 500 followers, I will have all the requirements necessary to start making money here on YouTube. So if you're liking what you see, make sure you go hit the big old button down below that says subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'm almost to the point where I'm making money. And I do this just because it's fun. I really enjoy doing it, but making some money to kind of just give me a little bit back for all the time I put into doing this would be super, super awesome. 62 people in here. That's the most I've ever had on a live at one time. I'm curious as to what the depth is right here. I assume it's probably similar to the depth at the area that I'm going to be fishing on Thursday for the Halloween live. It's about 7-ish feet there. The only problem is you can't access this area at night. The place we're going to, you can access at night, which is obviously why we're going there for a nighttime fishing live. So, awesome, awesome, awesome. Alright, I'm going to head down this way, and we might as well start fishing now. The thing I want to try first is this here. This is a little tiny spoon, looks like a little minnow. And minnows are everywhere in here, specifically shiners. There's a lot of spot tail shiners, common shiners, and this looks just like baby shiners that all the smallmouth are eating in here. Some of the catfish eat them as well. You could even catch some big sunfish on this. This really could catch anything. So we're going to see what we can do with this on the little BFS, which if you're not familiar is like an ultralight casting reel. Typically casting reels are used for a little bit heavier baits, but this one is designed to use the light stuff. I have a whole video dedicated to this as well if you're interested in learning more. So I'm gonna cast it out that way, see if we can get anything. Alright, so yeah, about 7 feet of depth. I'm just popping this up, and then it goes and then falls back down slowly. That's kind of what we're looking for. And eventually something will hopefully inhale it, and when I do the pop-up, I'll just set the hook into a fish instead of just plain old water. 70 people in here. This is awesome. Thank you guys for stopping in. Did you get any today? I just started. Yeah, we're out here on the Schuylkill River in southeastern Pennsylvania. And we're going to do a little bit of fishing. Probably tow around the magnet fishing setup as well. See if we can find some little treasures. Alright, so it's pretty shallow and weedy right about here. I can see the weeds on the bottom. They're pretty big weeds, but it's probably 4.5 feet right here. I'm in for positive information. Just subscribed. I appreciate it. I assume that means you either looked at one of my other videos or you watched my intro video on my channel page. That's what I'm all about. Just kind of learning stuff and sharing with you guys as I'm learning stuff, just, you know, seeing what I can discover out here in the outdoors, and then going from there and hopefully sharing some of my experiences with you. I hope for the big one today. I do as well. Yeah, I've never actually put my kayak in on the river, but I think this is a really good time to try it as my first river expedition because We are actually in a nationwide drought, and as unfortunate as that is for a lot of different things, it means there's not a lot of current on the river, so it is pretty safe. Obviously, I still have my life jacket. I'm a pretty good swimmer, better than the average Joe, so I am feeling pretty comfortable. The water is not too bad as far as temperature, but yeah, life jacket definitely a necessity, especially as it starts to get colder. And, you know, it's probably only 150 feet to either bank from where I'm paddling right now, so it wouldn't be too bad to get back to shore if somehow we had some sort of crazy catastrophe. Looking for smallies? Yeah, smallies is definitely something that I'm hoping to get today. I'd be happy with just some nice sunfish as well. If I happen to hook into a catfish or carp somehow, that'd be awesome. I've done that before where I accidentally caught them on lures. For some reason they ate it. They typically don't, but sometimes they do. Yeah, mostly smallies and sunfish though. If I get something else, that's just a fun surprise to add to the list. On Thursday, we will be fishing down here, past where we're going to paddle to today, for catfish, carp, eels, and anything else, specifically targeting those catfish and carp during Halloween night. So if you're enjoying what you see now, make sure you tune into that live. I should be starting that at about 6 to 6:30 Eastern time. So, yep. Be safe too. Yep, absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. It looks to be pretty deep right about here. I'm going to just kind of turn my way and cast around the jigging spoon on the BFS again. I was just up at a lake in French Creek State Park where I was using this, catching some trout and trout, panfish, perch, that sort of thing. This technique works for all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I caught the trout and a crappie on this, and then the perch and the bluegill were caught on what I have on my ultralight. That thing right there caught the perch and the bluegill. I'm just going to drop it down straight down beneath me and see if I can get an idea of how deep it actually is right here. I mean, it's about 7, 8 right here. Pretty good. Cast it kind of towards the shore. Bring it back towards us. Right there. 74. Look at that. Thank you, guys. 45 to go. Awesome. Yep, as Stuart's mentioning, for those of you who are just popping in, once I hit that 500 number on my subscriber count, I will be eligible to make a little bit of money on YouTube, which would be pretty awesome. Not why I do it. I just love doing it for the fun of it and sharing my passion and my knowledge and what I'm learning with you guys. But getting a little bit of money is not something that I'm going to say no to. So I would definitely appreciate hitting that subscribe button. Whoa. I think that was a carp. Big carp or something just jumped over there. So we're doing the vertical live stream now. On Thursday, we're going to be doing the horizontal live stream from the bank in the dark. So it's definitely going to be a different vibe, but should still be good. Hopefully we catch some fish. I got to catch something this morning. Mostly just exploring the river on the kayak, which, as I mentioned a little bit ago, I've never actually done. I've fished plenty of spots on this river, very familiar with how to fish it, but I've never done it from the kayak. So we're just having some fun this morning, see what we can do about getting ourselves the first kayak fish from the Schuylkill River. I'm going to go over this way to where that carp jumped. I don't know if it's deeper over here or for some reason there's weeds and there's more fish, but when a fish jumps, it's not a bad idea to go towards it. We will support you, bro. Don't worry. Thank you. I appreciate it. It seems like you're new to the channel, but it seems like you're already on for the ride, if you will. Appreciate it. Catch a fish and I'll sub. Let's go. All right. Well, I got to go find a fish now. This section of the river is not a section I fish often because there's not great bank access, so this is kind of uncharted territory for me. But we'll give it a try. We'll see what we can do. I might troll the spoon behind me. That seems like something that could catch us a fish because, you know, trolling works. Not trolling on YouTube. Don't do that. That's not nice. But it's also not too deep here, so trolling the spoon seems like something that definitely could work. The problem is when you troll this light of a spoon, it tends to come up towards the surface instead of be down in the deep water, but it's only about 5 feet here, so if it's a foot under the surface, it's still not too far from the middle of the water column, so I think this might be effective. We shall see. Believe that, Stuart? Yeah, there was a huge carp at your feet at the slip. Yeah, that's right. That man who was fishing there, he caught a nice carp. Not what we're going for today, but on Thursday, I'd definitely be happy to take something like that. "62 people in here. Thank you guys so much. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. We're on the push for 500. Do you have the invasive Asian carp there? We do not. I'm a species hunter, so in a way I selfishly am like, oh, that stinks, because that's another species that I could have got on my list here in Pennsylvania. But, oh look, we caught some weeds, first catch of the day. But, no, we don't, which is good for the environment, bad for my species list. But, you know, the environment's more important, so. Alright. We're up pretty shallow right now, so I'm going to toss around this little jig and plastic on the ultralight, see if we can get something up in here just to get the day going in the right direction. Could be some nice sunfish in here, some nice little smallies as well. Real shallow up in here. I'm looking right into the sun. Wow. I definitely should have brought sunglasses, but you live and you learn. It's actually something I've learned many times. I just did not think about it. Alright. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a smaller plastic on the ultralight. This is a pretty big profile for the size of jig head that I'm using. I had it on there because we were targeting trout the previous time I was using this rod, and they were pretty decent sized trout, but now we're looking for some little panfish and stuff, so I'm going to downsize just a wee bit to a chartreuse trout magnet. So let's see what we can do with that. I'm going to take off this guy, which is about double the size of the lure we're putting on. Now there is a little bit of wind pushing us downriver, so it might be a little bit tougher to get back, but I'm not concerned about it by any stretch of the imagination because I'm a pretty fit dude. I know the river well, and honestly, this is nothing compared to wind I've paddled against on the lake up in the Poconos that we have a lake house on. Some of the wind there gets pretty crazy, and when you got to paddle against it, it's definitely tough. This is not too bad at all. I'm going to take a cast up in there. This is a nice little area. Hopefully you can see some of these awesome fall colors behind me. Rod, Wilson, and Chad are in here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. There's just some pretty frequent flyers in the fishing community. People on Stuart's channel, on Bob from Anyfins, on Skeeter's channel. These are people who always pop into those lives. So, thank you guys for coming in. No fish yet. I'm still kind of in exploration mode more than hardcore fishing mode. I'm just enjoying being out here on the river. As I said, it is my first time being on the river in my kayak. So, it is super fun though. I'm gonna cast up. There's some nice wood over here. Cast over there, see if there's any panfish lurking. I feel like every time I do a fishing live, it's pretty slow from the get-go. And then I gotta kind of find what works before we start catching a lot of fish. We've been live for 36 minutes already. I'm gonna kind of sit up against this wood structure here. There's gotta be something in here at least. Oh, I had one. Yep, there was one in there. There's some shiners following it, which is what I'm trying to imitate with that little spoon. Super tiny stuff. Didn't see any panfish following it. Cast it up in there. Lots of good structure in here. Gotta be something. Oh, I see one. Who we got in here? Jimmy, thanks for coming in. Jimmy's talking about being on the first cup of coffee, not quite mentally with it yet, not a problem. We had a big spike in viewership at the beginning, had 70 some people in here. We're back down to 26 or 27, which is still very respectable. Thank you guys for stopping in. I have not yet caught a fish. I'm disappointing all the people who have stopped in. We gotta find something. This is not a section I've ever fished before because it's not really any bank access on this side. But we're in the kayak, so we've got extra access today. So, we'll see what we can do. Really hard to see the, Alright, it's really hard to see the, screen here with how bright it is, but I'm doing my best here. So there's a sunfish up in there. He wants absolutely nothing to do with it. We're going to go even more extreme. We're going to put on the gulp worm, which is like a no-fail. If there's a fish in there, they'll bite it. I don't know how big it'll be. I don't know if they'll be able to actually get the hook, but if there's fish in there, they will bite this. I've caught all sorts of stuff on this. Shiners, creek chubs, sunfish, bass, trout. Caught some saltwater stuff on this even. It's just like, this is like my no-fail bait. Don't worry about the chat, just fish. Sweet. Stuart's got it covered. I mean, I want to see kind of what's going on, but I won't be too upset if I can't see it. There we go. There's a nice trail up over there, but it's kind of a cliff down to the water, so not really any shot that you could bank fish from this side. So we're in uncharted territory for the average Joe. It's very interesting that there's not fish up in these holes. Lots of good structure. It's nice and shallow, which means in this early morning sun it's going to be nice and warm, but there's really not anything up in here. It's very strange to me. I don't know why. Alright, let's keep moving. I'm going to head on over to the other side. See what we can do over there. Heading straight across the river. 40 to go. Look at that. Thank you guys. I definitely appreciate it. 33 people in here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying what you're seeing. Even though we have not yet caught a fish, I still am kind of in exploration mode. I know that's not much of an excuse, but I'm just really, enjoying my time out here because this is the first time with the kayak on the river, seeing what we can do. There's lots of bubbles coming up from the bottom right now, which either means there's carp beneath me or there's turtles beneath me. Those are like the only two options. Alright, let's see what we can do with the spoon in here. Little Castmaster spoon on the BFS. Let's put this back that way. I'm gonna head down. There's this nice little rock wall. Oh, that was a fish. Oh, I just had one. Dang it. There's this nice little rock wall area down there that usually holds some fish. We're going to go there and then start working our way back up. I can still see where we put in, but it is quite a ways now. We'll have to paddle back that direction, but not a problem. Alright, we got some nice shade now. I'll take the break from the sun with wide open arms. That sun, in my eyes, was definitely getting to be a little bit of a challenge. We'll take this break. Alright. Some nice rocky area over here. Let's see if we can get something on the good old gulp worm. In some ways, fishing from the kayak is a lot harder. In some ways, it's easier. You obviously get to access a lot more spots, but it's not as comfortable. You can't move a whole bunch. There's only certain directions you can cast. You got to worry about making sure your kayak's oriented correctly. It can be a challenge at times. But, yeah, we're giving it a try today. Seeing what we can do. I just made a whole video about the fish finder that I use on this kayak. So go watch that if you are interested after this live's over. The reason I'm mentioning that, is that I don't have it with me today. I decided to leave it home. I thought that dealing with being on the river for the first time in the kayak with 3 rods, the magnet fishing setup, and the fish finder was a little bit too much. So I left the fish finder at home. We just got the rods and the magnet fishing setup. Let me know how the signal on your end is looking. Let me know how that video quality is. Hopefully it's good. There's not any trees blocking the signal from getting to my phone, so it should be pretty good. Nothing still. This is miraculous. There's lots of rocks and wood over here. There should be some fish, but they're just not showing themselves. Are they even real? "41 people in here, 14 thumbs up. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're still sans fish, so I'm glad I'm getting all this engagement without a fish to show for it, but we gotta get at least something. We're just floating on down, not getting a whole bunch. Have you caught anything yet? Unfortunately, the answer is no. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me as to why the answer is no, but that is the answer currently. We did just have, oh, there's a fish right there. There's a fish, like right there. I put the lure right in front of him. He didn't even look at it. That's crazy. Okay, well, at least that shows me that it's not my, it's not me imagining that the fish aren't biting. They just aren't biting. It's pretty crazy, if you ask me. Put it that way. The river is cold. It's only in the 50s. Yeah, definitely is a little bit colder than it has been recently. I just put it in front of a bluegill. Like, you put a nice looking lure in front of a bluegill and it doesn't hit it, you know, you got a little bit of strange conditions going on. And as Jimmy's saying, it just did cool down. It was, last I checked it about a week ago, it was about 55. So we just had maybe a couple degree temperature difference within the last two weeks, 3 weeks, because it was in the 60s mid-September. Last time I looked at it in mid-September, it was in the 60s. So we definitely had some temperature drop here as of late. Alright, I'm gonna pull back out the spoon, see what we can do with that again. We will get something by the end of this live. I will promise you that, even if that means going back to the boat launch and catching a bluegill there. I know there's a bunch of them that just sit out by this little dock, so we'll get something, but I don't know. I'd really appreciate catching one from the kayak. Oh, fish on. We got something. We got something. Little smallie. There you go. There's first fish of the day. As I was saying, we're gonna get something. Little smallie in the kayak on the spoon. Boom. Stay put, buddy. Fish. Yep, that's right. He will not stop moving. There you go. Let's get the. So there you go. Little spoon right in the mouth of that smallie. And there he is. Not big, but it's not a sunfish, which is what I thought our first fish of the day would be. So there you go. We caught a little smallmouth from the kayak. Back he goes. One fish on the board. 39 to go. Sweet. So I don't know who it was who was saying it earlier. I seem to have forgotten, but someone said if I catch a fish, they'll subscribe. So we should have another one on the board, you know? All right, now I gotta fix this. It's wrapped around the tip of the rod. This is a nice little deep section, and we just caught a smallie, so I'm going to stick to what was working and toss the spoon back out there. So I was incorrect in my assessment here. That right there, I don't know if you guys can see it. We'll take a closer look in a minute. That little rocky section on the bank, that is where we're fishing on Thursday. So, be on the lookout for that. We're going to have a nice little Halloween catfish carp fishing party. I don't know what you want to call it. That's probably not the right word. Sometimes as you're going live, you just got to say stuff and hope it sounds fine. And I don't think party was the right word there, but we're going to roll with it. So we got one smallmouth on the board. Here, I'll turn the camera around so you guys can see the section we're going to fish on Thursday. We might as well turn around here. So I'm going to flip the camera like this. Alright, so, oh man, the sun. Right there. We're going to get close to it so you guys can see. Sorry about the sun there, guys, but hopefully once we get into the shade, you can see. Alright, there you go. So that little section right there on the bank, this rocky area, is where we're going to be fishing. It's nice and deep right out here where I'm currently kayaking. Yeah, going to fish from this rocky bank section here, set up some rod holders, and then we are going to cast it out into the area where I'm kayaking right now. Alright, let's flip this camera back around. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's start working our way back up the river. We're going to do the old 2 steps forward, 1 step back technique, because the wind is pushing this way, and this is actually downstream. There's not a lot of current, but it does contribute to our movement. So what's going to happen is we're going to kayak up, we're going to take a few casts around. As that's happening, we're going to drift back, but we're just going to have to slowly work our way back. 2 steps forward, drift back a little bit, 2 steps forward, drift back a little bit, and eventually we'll make it back to the boat launch. So yeah, we'll see what we can do. Alrighty, let's pull the spoon out again. There you go. Oh, I got a little backlash. There we go. Fix that. $4.62. Thank you guys for hitting that subscribe button. We're on the push to 500 people. Once we hit that, we'll be making a little bit of money, and that'd be super awesome. Alright. There was our 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Now we got to paddle back this way again for a little bit, and then we can take another cast. It's just the way it's going to be for a minute. So the sun is now directly behind me, so the view is not going to be great. I'm sorry about that. I can barely see a thing. This is how I felt on the way down the river. So one of the plans that I have for next summer, a super cool video idea, is I want to do like a overnight river trip. So I go have one of my parents drop me off upriver. I mean, I'd take the truck, but then we'd have to go back and get it. It'd be the whole shebang. So probably my dad would drive me up in the truck. We'd take the kayak and stuff up there. And in the back of the kayak, I'd have some camping stuff. And then we'd float down the river, do some fishing for the day. And then at the end of the night, I'd camp on the riverbank, and then we'd get up the next morning and finish it and paddle all the way back down the river towards the house from maybe Reading area, and then go back down towards the river towards Philadelphia, and along that path is where my house is. So we'd go up there and kind of come back towards the house, do a little bit of camping on the river. And getting this experience paddling on the river before I do such a thing is a good idea. So, alright, I'm gonna turn a little bit, so hopefully you guys can see a little bit better, and we're gonna take another cast. Alrighty. Ozarks is in. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, oh my gosh, what just happened? I just broke off. I mean, this is light line, but like, was there a fish on the other end? I don't know. It was a clean break too, not a break at the knot. Just a full clean break. You guys can, there's no way you can see that, but yeah, clean break, not a break at the knot. Just completely broke off on a fish. That's unfortunate. Alright, I'm gonna get this rod re-rigged, which means we're gonna drift even further down the river, but that's okay. Shouldn't take me too long. We should be able to recover. Yeah. 462 is the current count. We're almost there, guys. We're almost to that monetization requirement. So for any of you loyal people in here who've been with the channel, and would be interested, and once I unlock that membership status and I can have a membership available, I may be interested in taking that one out. If that sounds like you, my idea for the membership is going to go something like this. Every month or two, I'll have a members only live to give back for your support to the channel. And then I'd also do things like release some random unedited footage. You know, I like to put out a good product, and it takes a lot of time, but a lot of times I have fishing footage, a really cool catch or something like that, that I could share, and I just can't yet because I have to edit it into a full video, and you guys would be able to see that early. I'll just put out some unedited footage for the members. I have a couple cool catches right now that are going to be part of videos in the future, but the catch is so cool I wish I could share it now. If you become a member, I'll just put it out there for you guys early, and you can see that footage. Stuff like that, that's kind of how I'm going to run the membership. It'll probably only be one membership tier from the beginning. We may change that eventually, but that's probably how it's going to work. So once we hit that 500, if you're interested in becoming a member, that's kind of what you're signing up for. 467, thank you guys. Alright, so we got another spoon tied on now. I don't know how the heck we broke off on the first one, but it is what it is. So, alright, yeah, we'll let us drift down a little bit more, and then we will start working our way back. There you go. Alright, so we had a silver and blue one on, now we just have a pure silver one. There's a Loch Ness Monster behind me. Oh no. I'd be happy to catch the Loch Ness Monster, but preferably not on 4-pound line. We'd have to get a heavier setup for that. I did just buy a setup, heavy power rod, 300 size casting reel with 50-pound braid. That thing is a beast. That's my new flathead setup. That's going to be something that I target muskies with, something that I would use for stripers and inshore saltwater. It's going to be a super fun setup to use. You guys will get to see it on Thursday. I'm not sure if we're going to catch any catfish on Thursday. It would be more likely to catch carp, but yeah, we'll see what we can do. So hopefully, if everything goes to plan, you guys will get to see my Loch Ness Monster setup in action. Oh gosh. Alright. Alrighty. Yeah, we just broke off a lot of line. This reel does not have a lot of line to begin with, but we just broke off randomly. And yeah. I wish more YouTube lives were like this. Keep it up. Well, I appreciate it. I'm glad I'm part of the YouTube lives that are desirable. I try and keep it super lighthearted, super friendly, chatting a lot, but also have my typical tell you what I'm doing, making sure you guys can learn a little bit. Maybe you know more than me, maybe I can learn a little bit from you guys in chat, we'll see. But yeah, I just like to keep it lighthearted, like to keep it informational, and hopefully fun. We're gonna go down to this little rock wall here. Once we hit that, we really should start working our way back. And then we might go upriver once we get back to the boat launch and let ourselves drift back down to where we started at the end of the live, just to make it easy on the last leg of the day. Minimal paddling, that sort of thing. Just one smallmouth on the board. Fish have been a little bit weird this morning. We're only going to be fishing here till about 11. Then I have an obligation to go do. I'm dog sitting, so I got to go take care of the dogs. And then once I'm done that, we're going to head to a family obligation. But I'm glad you guys stopped in this morning. This is definitely an enjoyable thing to do on a Saturday morning. I'm glad I get to talk to you guys, and it's definitely helping with my follower account, which will hopefully get us to that monetization requirement soon. Oh wow. Oh, that might have been a fish. "24 people in here and 26 thumbs up. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Oh, had one. 33 people in here. My last fishing live I did got a whole lot of views and got a ton of watch hours, which really pushed me to the next level to being like, yeah, we're actually really close to that monetization requirement. And now we're within 40 some subscribers of getting there. We're almost within 30. So we might be able to hit it before this month is over, because I got that Halloween fishing live. I got another short or two to put out this week. So yeah, US Snipes is back. I don't know, I think you might have missed it, but we got one smallmouth on the board on the BFS with the little jigging spoon. So we've got one fish. Ozark says, you probably already said it, but what brand of rod and reel is the BFS? I assume that's what he's talking about. So I have a whole video dedicated to this. It's kind of a very unique style. The reel is made by a company called Dovielo if you buy it on Amazon, and by Solo King if you buy it like anywhere else. It's kind of weird. It's like some Chinese reel, but it performs really, really well. It's widely considered the best budget BFS reel for like beginners. You can get it for as low as like 40 bucks. But I bought it for like 60. And then this rod is a Bass Pro Shops rod. It's the Micro Light Glass casting rod. Yeah, it works really good for like little trout spinners, little jigging spoons. It has a lot of bends to it, and the benefit of using a casting reel, even though it's a light setup like this, is so that you don't get line twist and it doesn't tend to get wind knots as much. Like imagine if you were using a spinning rod and you had to jig it up and then reel down all the slack. You're trying to reel into slack with something that's actually rotating. That's a really easy way to get a spinning reel tangled, but because this spool is what's rotating and there's no like external moving parts, there's a lot less chance that you're going to get tangled with this, a lot less chance of line twist. It's really good for that. I just saw a really big bluegill, so I'm going to pull out the like really big bluegill, probably 8.5 inches or so. So I'm going to pull out the panfish setup and see if I can get that, because that would be a fun little fight on the ultralight. Oh, I think I got him. That might not be the one, but it's a good sunfish. Oh yeah, that's him. Oh, he just popped off. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was probably an 8.5 inch bluegill. That was the one I saw. Man, dang it. That was awesome. But I really wish I landed it. well. There might be another one in there, so I'm going to cast it back in. That was a nice fish. Would have been a fun one to get in the boat, but alas. What does that even mean? Can someone, I know it's like an old English thing. Can someone in chat do a search check for me? Stuart will probably do it for me. And figure out what the heck alas even means. A-L-A-S. I think that's how you spell it. Yeah, I had him. That was the one I saw, and he was pretty big, but didn't get him. Oh, had something. That might have been a weed, though. Lass is a Scottish woman. No, A-L-A-S is like, I don't know, I hear people say it. It's like, I could have done this, but alas, it didn't happen. Like, it's like some sort of statement of like, oh no, or, oh, that's unfortunate. But I don't actually know specifically what it means. And I'm curious, so. Yeah. We missed him. Alright, that was our good chance at a nice sized bluegill. And we missed it. It might have even been a redbreast. I think it was a bluegill, but a redbreast that big is something even more unusual. That would have been even more awesome. But, you know, can't dwell on the past. You gotta go get some different fish. Little Fin, that is Kevin, the son of Bob from Anyfin. Little Fin is in the beginner stages of his channel, and they're working on making sure he has a good following so they can do like dual lives and have one perspective from Kevin, one perspective from Bob. So if you aren't subscribed to Little Fin, go do that. Yeah, Kevin, we got one smallmouth on the BFS and a little spoon, and I just lost a really big bluegill. He was probably close to 9 inches and popped off. So I'm gonna cast the BFS in here. We're coming up on this rock wall. I'll make sure I show you guys what that rock wall looks like. Once we get to that rock wall, we're gonna start working our way back upriver. I can't even see the boat launch anymore, which is okay. I know where it is. It's not too far. We'll make it back. 18 people in here. My dad is watching but driving to the Poconos. So sweet. You guys going up there for pickerel? Like, what's the goal for your trip up there, Kevin? Alas is an expression of grief. Mom's on the job. She's got it. I don't know if she saw. I'm not sure if she's been watching the whole time, but we got one smallmouth on the board, Mom, so we're doing good. That's, you know, the river's kind of cold this time of year. The weather's changing, which fish don't like change. Who really does, though? But, yeah, the fish don't like the weather changing, so the fact that we got one is a successful day in my book. And it was not a bluegill. I thought that's what we were going to catch, but we caught smallmouth, which in my opinion is slightly more desirable. Pity or concern? Oh, there's an Anyfin comment. Look at that. He does exist. Pickerel, bass, sunfish, catfish, trout, perch. That's what Little Fin, Kevin says they're going for up in the Poconos. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's kind of what we get up at our lake house. Our lake house does not have pickerel in it, which is kind of crazy because almost every lake up in the Poconos does. Not ours. But all the other things you mentioned, we've got in our lake. Stuart, can you link Little Fin? I'm sure he can. I gotta make sure that I get some of you other guys who pop in here frequently as mods as well. Oh, that was a good one. I just felt one. But yeah, I will work on that once we get home here. Got it wrapped around my tip of the rod. That is one of the most unfortunate things about this technique, is that because the spoon kind of flutters down and isn't like instantly tight again, sometimes you set the hook up and you've got stuff wrapped around the tip of your rod, and then you have to deal with that because it's all tangled. But other than that, I really love this one. Fish magnet. Speaking of fish magnet, you guys will have to let me know if at some point you want me to test out the magnet fishing setup. We might head up to the bridge before we're done here. I think that'd be a good place to look around for some stuff with the magnet fishing setup underneath the bridge. So if you want to see the magnet fishing setup, oh, that was a fish, I had him. If you want to see that, then I think the bridge would be a good place to do that. $28 thumbs up, 16 people still in here. Kevin, how many followers do you have now on your page? And I know Lyle has a page now as well. I forget exactly what that's called. It's called like The Great Outdoors with Lyle or something along those lines. 58, he says. We might be able to get Lilfin up to 60, 65 by the end of today's live, and hopefully I can get closer to that 500 mark as well. Once we hit that 500, I've mentioned it already, but I know people go in and out of these lives. Once I hit that 500 mark, I will have all the requirements necessary for the first rung of monetization, which would be super, super cool. I know some of you guys would probably be interested in being members, so I'll make sure I get that set up once we hit that 500 number. Ooh, that was a fish. Wow, this is beautiful. I'll have to turn the other way so you guys can see what I'm looking at behind me. I've done some hiking on this trail and showed it like this view from the trail, but the view from the river is even better. Look at this. Gotta do an about face. So you've got the ridge over here, which has all the beautiful fall colored trees, and if I lean a little bit so you can see, that's the rock wall that goes up behind me there. 68, sweet, look at that. So we can probably get them to 70 or 75. But yeah, the rock wall is up behind me. Look at all those beautiful fall colors on the trees. That's awesome. So yeah, we got the rock wall here, and it comes down to little rocks along the edge. There's usually some fish in here. I caught a flathead on a lure here once, a little one, but I did catch a flathead on a lure here. So we're probably going to go fish over next to those rocks, and once we're done, we've had our fill there, we're going to work our way back towards the boat launch. So we've been live for an hour and 14 minutes. Sweet. And we got one fish on the board. As I said a couple minutes ago, to me that's a success because the temperature in the river is steadily dropping right now, and the cold spell definitely makes the fish less willing to bite. So the fact that we got one is success enough for me, and I'm just enjoying kind of exploring the river, as I mentioned a couple times already. First time on the river in my kayak today, so yeah, I've never done this before. Kayaking in the river is something I want to do a lot more of. I've got some awesome video ideas dealing with that here in the future, but we got to get some experience doing that before we go on all these fun adventures with it. So, yeah, I'm gonna pop on over here. This section's got a lot of depth to it as well. I mean, compared to the rest of the river. This river as a whole is not a very deep river. It's not the Susquehanna or anything, where it's, you know, super, super shallow. You're bumping over rocks as you're going down the river in your boat, but it's not, I can't speak. It's not deep. Sorry about that. Alright, now the wind's picking up. We're moving, guys. We're moving and I don't want to move. I kind of want to stay here. The wind is moving. Alright, let's put that back right there. See if we can get over here before the wind takes us. Alright. There we go. I'll tell you one thing. This kayak, this folding kayak, it only weighs 28 pounds, and the fact that it doesn't weigh a ton means that this thing sits really high in the water, and it glides, man, better than, I don't have a ton of experience in other kayaks, but I have a little bit, better than any kayak I've been in. It almost even feels like paddleboard level of like glide to it because of how high it sits in the water. Oh man, that was the worst cast I've made in a very long time. It's not a competition. I think Kevin is talking to Stuart, who often loves to, oh, that was a fish. Man, that was a good fish. I missed him. Stuart often loves to, playfully mess with Bob and Kevin, so I imagine he's talking to Stuart. Ozark says, I must go. I would have been here earlier, but my notifications apparently aren't working. I hope you get tons of views and subs. Thank you, Ozarks. Thanks for stopping in. As always, have a good one. Alright, so we can kind of just sit here a little bit because kind of shielded from the wind by these trees. So I'm just going to kind of sit here, mess around with the spoon along this rock wall. I'll make sure you guys get a good view of what I'm looking at here before we head back the other direction. This is a really cool little area, both for fishing and for the views. Not YouTube views, but like, it looks cool. There you go, you can see those rocks behind me, and up there is the rock wall. Blah, 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 says Stuart. Yep, there he goes again. Doing typical Stuart things. I gotta fix this. Got it caught on the tip of the rod. I don't know how I did that. There you go. Now we're good. Bob's in the house. Oh, did he make it back? I don't know what that means, Jimmy. I might be missing something here. I probably am. Oh, look, I know that guy. That's my dad. Hey. Huh? Yeah, I got one small now. He's on his bike following the trip. Huh? Yeah, I know. I'm not going any further than this. I'm turning around after this. Yeah. I had 74 people in here at one point. Yeah, 22 people in here right now. Alright. I'll probably start working my way back that way. Alright, I'll see you later. Alright, yeah, I'm confused. Kevin says, were you? Stuart's laughing at something. I definitely missed something. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Alright, take the spoon, make a cast. Look how steep it is up along that ridge there. It's super cool, but it's very steep. A lot of people back in the day, I say that like it was a long time ago, but a couple of years ago we had a lot of people who would do rock climbing up on that wall. Now they have signs saying to stay on trail because they don't want people rock climbing, which I guess is fair. Liability stuff, it's dangerous. So Justin is in. Thanks for stopping in. You might have been live this morning. I thought I heard something about that. Were you live this morning? But yeah, I'm glad you stopped in. We got one smallmouth on the board. We're exploring the river. This is the first time I've ever taken my kayak out on the river, so we're having a good time checking it out. The wind is now pushing me away from where I want to go, so I'm going to start working my way back up the river. Walleye should be active now. That is true. I've never caught a walleye, and since I'm a species hunter, that's definitely something I want to do. I'm also planning on doing some additional trips up to Blue Marsh during this winter because I know the walleye are still active during that time of year, and there's some up there. So I'm going to try and get some walleye, some muskie from Blue Marsh. A couple trips up there this winter, a couple trips down to the river, see if we can get some walleye. The Rizzler spelled incorrectly. How's it going? Poor guy can't fish worth a lick. No how anyway. I'm not sure if Stuart's talking about me or Bob or Kevin, but he's doing his typical playful heckling. 30 likes, jump in. Oh, Kevin. The art museum walleye are starting to show. Sweet. Yeah, I will have to see if I can take a trip down there. I'm still I guess you would say, a fairly new driver. Not super new driver. I had my license for like a year and a week at this point. Yeah, it's like a year and a week exactly. But yeah, my parents generally let me drive all over the place, but getting into Philly is definitely a bit of a process for someone who's not as used to the roads. I think I'm about to the point to where they'd let me do that, especially if it's on a day where it's not going to be as much traffic. We'll have to think about that, but I can definitely at least somehow try and make a trip down to Philly for some walleye this year as well during the winter. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it by myself or my parents are going to drive me, but we shall see. Yeah, city traffic is a whole different thing from just regular driving. Fishhead is in. How's it going, Ray? You were live yesterday. All right. Hopefully that went well for you, Justin. Fishhead saying hey to everybody. I must use a paddle tail. Yeah, paddle tail is not a bad option, especially for the fall. The only problem is with the paddle tail is like if I was to fish it in the shallows, I'd need a weedless paddle tail, which I could rig up, but this rod doesn't have a lot of backbone to use with like a weedless setup where you have to set the hook through the plastic. I have a medium light. I'd really need like a medium or a medium heavy for that. And then if I used it out deep, I don't have like a big enough jig head. Well, I have big enough jig heads. This rod, because it's a medium light, can't handle a big enough jig head to get it down into the deep parts. Paddle tail is definitely a good idea. It's just because of the setup I chose to bring with me, it's probably not going to work out. I have a medium light, I have an ultralight spinning rod, and an ultralight BFS setup. So I didn't skunk, so I guess that wasn't too bad. Alright, sounds good. We're going back past where we're going to be on Thursday for the Halloween live. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this little paddle here today. I'm definitely enjoying it. We got one fish on the board. We're probably going to try some magnet fishing and see if we can get one or two more fish before we leave. Yeah, I mean, I said it just a couple minutes ago, but this thing really does glide. Not a whole bunch of resistance to paddling here. And I have a little fin that I put down, so it tracks really well. I'm not spending a bunch of extra energy going back and forth. It's generally going pretty straight, so it's a good little product. Now that I have the truck, at times I wish, like, oh man, it would have been nice to just have a normal kayak and just be able to put it in, but storing this thing is a lot easier because it folds up, and then I can also do things like bring it down to places that don't really have a boat launch and just unfold it and chuck it in there because of how portable it is, and I can just pick it up and carry it. It's super light, and it does glide really well, so I'm not complaining. It's also not expensive. It's like 400, 500 bucks on normal retail price, and I got it for sale for like $380 or something like that, and it works really well. Use a lipless. I'm not sure if Rizzler is trying to not spell everything correctly because of the comment I made about his profile name being spelled incorrectly, but yeah, that's not how you spell lipless. I appreciate, if it is humor, it's funny, so I appreciate it though. 472, look at that. Thank you. Gonna catch so many with the saltwater boat soon, Stuart. There might be a trunk or treat, but I forgot to come, so I'm going to be a fisherman. John P. Adventures is in. Thanks for stopping in. Saying hi to Fishhead. Alright, we have made some good progress. We're about, I don't know, 15% of the way back up to the boat launch. Gonna put in some serious paddling and only stop if I think it's a really good spot, because we do have one on the board. So we avoided the skunk already. Now we're hunting for something good. Something better than just a bluegill. I mean, I'd take another bluegill, but especially after losing that real big one. Not a whole lot of bluegill that are going to top that one. That was probably close to 9 inches. Trying to read a little bit. Real bright out. Hopefully the sun isn't bothering you guys too much here. Oh wow, the wind's picking up. Gotta put in some serious effort for paddling. My friend had a blow-up kayak he used to use. Yeah, I definitely considered, like, if I get another kayak, getting one of those, because when they're all blown up, they're pretty stiff, and you could probably transport it in its blown up format, but then and like have it already rigged up, just pop it in the water, but then when you need to store it, you could deflate it. I think that's definitely a really good idea, and the inflatable technology nowadays is really, really crazy how good it is. So hopefully the wind's not too bad for you guys. You guys are in a waterproof case, so it's probably not too terrible, but yeah, let me know how it is. Man, the wind is, whew, the wind is pushing against me real good. I might have to, I think I'm gonna go over here and use the trees to block a little bit. Half-century catfish, how's it going? Alright, I can see the boat launch again. Probably half a mile, something like that, back to the boat launch, which isn't too bad of a paddle. I just need to get over here to the side so I can hide behind these trees, not have to fight the wind as much. Let me know how the wind noise is for you guys, because you do have the waterproof case on, which may reduce the wind noise a bit. So, I don't know, it could still be terrible. Whew. Ugh. hiding behind these trees now, so we should have a little bit of an easier time paddling. Oh, alright, that's kind of tiring. I also did, like, my lats are already a little bit sore. I did a lot of pull-ups during my workout yesterday. It was a leg day, and then we randomly did a push-up challenge, and then I did a whole bunch of pull-ups at the end. So my lats are a little bit sore. If it was a full back day, I'm not sure I'd even be able to do this paddle because I'd be so sore, but partial back exercise day, just a little bit of sore while doing this paddle, but we're gonna make it. It's gonna be okay. How cold is the water? So Jimmy said it was somewhere in the 50s. That seems about right to me. I'd say probably mid 50s, not low 50s. 53, 4, 5, somewhere in that range. If I had my fish finder, which I already mentioned I didn't bring just because I thought it'd be like kind of high maintenance to do with the magnet fishing setup and the camera and all that stuff. So yeah, 59, that makes sense. Yeah, I was a little bit off, but kind of close. Close enough. Yeah, so I guess it just dropped below 60, which means the flatheads are probably going to be a little bit difficult to catch here on Thursday night. It's possible still, but it's definitely not going to be the easiest thing in the world to manage a flathead on Thursday, but the carp definitely are still going to be out, and the channel catch should be out. We have the chance of catching the kind of elusive, but they're in here, American eel on Thursday as well. Obviously bullheads we could catch. We could catch some sunfish, you know, possibly a walleye. All these things are possible. More than likely what we would catch would be carp and channel cats and bullheads. So, especially with that water temperature. Alright, we're starting to drift again. No. Don't do that. I'm using these trees as shields, but that means if we start to drift, my rods are going to get caught in the trees. Use a worm. That's what I got on this rod. A fake worm. But the Berkeley Gulp stuff is about as close as you can get to real without being real. So lots of little weed patches up in here. Alrighty, let's take one little cast in here. Whoa. Oh, we're under the tree. Hold on. Alright, we gotta fix ourselves here. Hello. Alright. Put it in reverse. Alright, if we want to stop and fish, we really should get out from the tree zone. Let's start working our way back this way again. Julie, thank you for the support here. They are active now for sure. Yep. Yeah, this wind, I really don't want to like try and use an anchor on the river with my little kayak, because if the current starts pulling me and my anchor gets lodged in there and I have to pull on it, you definitely could tip the kayak. So I just kind of have to deal with the drifting. On a lake I'd use my anchor, but on a river where there's current, I don't think I love that idea. So we're just going to have to deal with this drifting issue. Alright, I got myself a little bit tangled up here. Alright, we got ourselves fixed now. I'm gonna try tie on a top water. Are you like seeing how good I am at translating your misspelled stuff? Because if so, I can play this game. But yeah, tie on a top water. Definitely not the type of weather for top water right now. 473, thank you guys. We are, in that case, we are 27 away from hitting monetization. Pretty close, guys, pretty close. 11 people in here, 34 thumbs up. Thank you. Yeah, see how much we're drifting? That's all from the wind, not the current. None of that is the current. The wind really is not my friend. Dang nabbit, this is not fun. Little Finn is going to share me out. Thanks, Kevin. Oh, man. Grizzly, you might have got me on that one. Yeah, you might have got me on your last comment. I don't know what that one is. You might have to revert back to normal spelling and let me know what you're actually talking about on that one. I think you got me. I think you won. 9 people in here, 35 thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Alright, here's what we're going to do. Oh, man. I just tangled myself real good up here. Alright, we got it. Whoa, we're drifting real fast. Ugh. Man, this wind is something special. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We are going to... Oh, squirrels magnet fishing. Good morning, Mission Discover. Have any luck? We got one smallmouth, and I do have the magnet fishing setup with me, which... Once we get back up that direction, we're probably going to try out for a little bit. So stick around, and you can give me some tips on, you know, doing some of that, because I know that's kind of your expertise. Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to commit to paddling. We're going to toss this behind us. We're going to troll it as we paddle. We're not going to stop until we get back to the boat launch. And maybe we get unless we get a fish on the trolling setup, we're just going to keep on paddling. Because this is tough to deal with right now. The amount of wind here. There we go. Alright, we're moving. It's not pretty, but we're moving. Oh, man. We're not going fast, but we're going. Working against the wind. I can see the bridge now. Bridge is probably about a third-ish of a mile away. I'm gonna paddle up there and see what we can do up there with the magnet fishing setup, maybe. Alright, I'm gonna reel this in, make sure we don't have any weeds on the hook, which honestly is pretty likely. Oh no, we're good. No weeds. Cast it back behind me again. Alright, here we go. Can't let the wind get us off track. Kev shared me out on his community page. Thank you, Kevin. Man, I'm working against this wind, but I'm not going with much of anywhere. I'm going at a solid like 2 miles an hour right now. An hour and 42 minutes. Got a couple minutes to head on up here and try the magnet fishing setup, and then probably head out of here. Alright, now we're moving. Keep checking the rod. Alright, the river bends a little bit up here. So now we're not in as much wind. So we're going to try the spoon the way we were before. A little jigging action. There's still some wind, but it's not as bad. What river are you at? The Schuylkill River. Stuart's on it. Schuylkill River is correct. Alright. More trolling. Here we go. Cheers from California. Thanks for stopping in, getting this organized. I can't see who that is right now because of the glare on the screen, but whenever I get a chance, I'll make sure I say what's up. Yeah, not near as much wind here. We're going to make a run up to, I'm going to try and make a run up to the bridge or that general area. See if we can do the magnet fishing. I might even just pull this in and just like do speed paddling, because I don't think really getting much here. Yeah, alright. Speed paddling. Let's see how fast we can get ourselves up to the bridge. Mr. Big Red Dog 420 is cheers from California. Sweet. 8 people in here, 35 thumbs up. Thanks for sticking with me. We had a lot at the beginning, and now it's slowed down. Got ourselves one fish on the board. We're gonna go see if we can get up here and get something with the magnet fishing setup. We are cruising now, probably going close to 4 or 5 miles an hour. I'm going to see how fast I can get myself up to the bridge here. It's about maybe, yeah, probably about a third of a mile to the bridge from where I'm at. Let's see how quick we can get up there. And then getting back down should be pretty easy because the wind and the current are helping us on the way back. So. Straighten you guys out just a tad. There you go. The people who were carp fishing at the beginning of this live at the boat launch are still there. So when we come back to the dock, we'll have to make sure we don't run into their lines there. Six people in here, thanks for sticking with me. Oh, now the wind's picking up against us again. Oh, we've slowed down significantly. We gotta get low so that we can work against the wind better. Very weedy in this section. It's probably about 5 feet deep, but the weeds are reaching all the way to the surface. Like, I can reach down and grab some probably. Let me pull up my sleeve. Yep, there you go. Oh, there's a bunch of that right here. Look at that. Like, reaching all the way up to the surface. Alright, let's keep going. Ton of fish sitting down underneath these weeds, but they're real hard to get to, I imagine, because of how thick this stuff is. Alright, I just saw a clear section of the bottom. It's about 4 feet deep here. Alright, let's keep paddling. We gotta make it up to the bridge. We're about probably less than a quarter mile now. We're working. Arms are getting a little bit tired working against the wind, but we really won't have to do any paddling to get ourselves back. So this will be our last leg of hard work today. Super shallow right here. About 2.5 feet deep. The whole thing's filled with weeds. Yeah, real shallow right here. Six people in here, 36 thumbs up. Thank you guys. For those of you who are sticking with me, you guys are probably my more loyal followers, or you just really like what you're seeing. If you guys who are in here still are not following the channel, make sure you do that, because I've got tons of this type of, outdoor adventures, exploring, learning what's going on, testing stuff out. That's kind of what I do. And we are coming back out to this area of the river on Thursday night, Halloween night, to do some nighttime fishing for catfish, carp, eels, whatever we can catch. And yeah, it should be fun. So if you're enjoying this, make sure to do your part and come in on Thursday. It does say 37 likes now for me, squirrel. Maybe it just takes a second to update. Alright, we're almost there, but the wind is even picking up even more. We're at a snail's pace. We're like 2 miles an hour right now. We're almost there. Alright, so 5 people in here still. We're steadily dropping viewership. Maybe by the time I get to the actual bridge, nobody will be in here anymore. We're almost there. Another 200 yards or so. Nice big blue heron just flew over there. We got some geese up along the bank. Man, the wind is really ripping right now. Alright, we're at the end of the parking lot for the boat launch by the bridge, which means we're very much in reach of it. 39 thumbinos. Oh man, yeah, it says 38 on my end still. Only 3 people in here. We're towards the end of the live, so I'm not too worried about the viewership dropping off, but maybe we'll be able to get something with the magnet fishing setup before we head home. It's 10:52. I'll probably start heading out of here at 11:10 or so. I'm supposed to be back at the house, by 12, which should not be a problem in the slightest. I'm gonna spend just a couple minutes here at the bridge. Yeah, super shallow right here. I did test out this spot to see if it would be a good possible location for the live on Thursday, and determined that it was super weedy and super shallow. And now that I'm actually kayaking out here, I can tell that even more so. Like 3.5 feet deep, completely filled with weeds. This would not have been a good move. I'm glad I picked that other spot. Man, snail's pace, but we are almost to the bridge. Man, oh, I'm tired. Almost there. We're like 80 yards away. Let me stabilize that camera a little bit. There we go. And turn you guys back this way. Sorry about that. Oh look, got some weird hair action going on. There you go. Alright, we're almost to the bridge. The final stretch. And this wind is gonna kill me. We should be able to get some good speed heading back to the boat launch to pack up, because the wind's with us, the current's with us, and if I paddle, we can get some really good speed. Wearing you out just watching. Well, this is, you got to take advantage of stuff when you're young. I'm only 17, working on becoming a full adult here within the next couple months when I turn 18. And I can still do this stuff, just on a whim. When you get older, like my dad is a really physically capable person, and there's just stuff he can't do anymore, because that's just what happens when you get old. So, you gotta take advantage of it while you can. Do you have a double-sided or single-sided magnet? I do have the double-sided one, and I have the one that has the hook like on the side, like parallel to the magnet, and the one that has the vertical drop hook. So I got the good stuff. Squirrel. 474 hook sets. Thank you. It's a trap. Stay 17. Yeah, I mean, there's good and bad things that come with every part of your life. There's plenty of good things about being 17 and plenty of bad things about being 17. And I'm sure once I turn 18, there will be good stuff and there'll be bad stuff, and a lot of it will switch around. I'm just ready to do whatever. I have the belief that, I follow God, and He'll have me wherever I need to be. And if I got Him, and I got my family, and I know what the important things in life really are, then I should be can't go out. So, got how to unravel this without creating a mess in the kayak. That would be really unfortunate. Okay, here we go. Here's what we're gonna do. Got the magnet here. We are like right underneath the bridge right now. Got the magnet. Here you go, squirrel. I assume this is what you're talking about. It is magnetic on this side, I got this hook and that hook. I'm going to put it on this way. This is the way I typically do it. I'm going to put it on like this so I can drag it along the bottom. Like that. You still have many life lessons to be learned yet, Nolan. Yeah, I'm sure I do. You never stop learning life lessons now, do you? That's why it's called life, no matter how old you are. You know, my grandparents are in their mid-80s and they're still learning plenty of things. So, you know, that's kind of the cool part about life, though. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop that right down there. It's not super deep here, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to tie off with about 40 or 45 feet of rope. I'm going to tie off here. And then we're just going to kind of drag it along down under here. Alright, so we drop that back behind us, push off from the piling here. Is your eye bolt Loctite? Loctite, yes. I do have Loctite on the bolts. Alright, so now we're just going to drag that around under the bridge. As you can see here, I'll turn this way so you can see we are actually under the bridge on the river. Just going to kind of drag that, drag it around a little bit and see if we get something. Just going to kind of, paddle around near these pilings. Maybe we'll catch something cool. I don't know. So, Squirrel, you would be a good guy to ask for this. In what situation do you actually use the vertical drop one? Because it seems like you can cover way more area and have a better chance of hooking up with something or magnetizing to something if you drag it along using the other hook. Like, what situation would you actually use the vertical drop hook? I'm curious. Obviously, if there's something like you're like, oh yeah, I see XYZ right down there, and you can drop it on top of it. But other than that, what would you use it for? Alright, we'll pull it in, see if we got anything from our first round. We shall see. Move my water bottle so I don't get river water in there. Stuart says we'll be right back. Did we get anything? We got a whole bunch of these magnetic pieces of rock and sand, which you almost always get when doing magnet fishing. But nothing that is an actual, like, treasure thing. So, keep paddling around. The top eye bolt is for dipping around. Okay. So is it just like, if you only, like if you're going directly like under a dock or something like that, or like right off a bridge, is that what it's for? That makes sense. That's probably what it's for. You can confirm for me. Confirm or deny. I'm gonna go right next to the piling here. It's pretty deep up in here. This might be a good place to like come, because that boat launch right here is open 24 hours. The one I have the truck parked at is not. I could come here, put the kayak in, anchor up right next to the piling, and do some catfishing from the kayak. That'd be pretty fun. That'd be a cool little video to do, a video or live, whatever. Yeah, off a bridge or dock. Alright, cool. That makes sense. Alright, let's see if we got anything here. More magnetic rocks. A lot of magnetic rocks. Look at that. Wipe some of these off. Alright. Toss that back in here. Your side eye bolt is for dragging. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I knew that much. And I knew you could use the eye bolt for like the top one for dropping on stuff, but I didn't know like in what context you would do that, you know? Yeah, this would definitely be a good little place to catfish. Up under the bridge, anchor up here, kind of in the summer or in the spring, and catfish from a kayak. That'd be a super fun little thing to do. Just don't know when. It is 11:03. We'll probably start heading back 11:10, 11:13, something like that. I should be able to pack up the kayak pretty swiftly and get back home. I don't know what my phone percentage is at. 45%. We got plenty of battery life to finish out this live here. Yeah, back up under the bridge. Signal's getting a bit choppy. It's probably because we're up under the bridge. You will get a lot of magnetic rock, yeah. Hopefully the signal's not too terrible for you guys. I don't know if we got something or it's just bumping over. Some rock, shall see. Feels like it's just bumping over rocks. Maybe not. Yeah, we're just bumping over rocks. Oh, we got like a little piece of iron. Is it iron pyrite? I have no idea. Honestly, Rod, I don't know. Yeah, it just looks like little silty pieces of gravel to me. Iron pyrite, isn't that like fool's gold? Is that what it is? Or am I making something else up? I think that is what fool's gold is. That'd make a little bit of sense. Yeah, fool's gold. Okay. So we're finding fool's gold. That's kind of cool though. Stuart is back. We're gonna see if we can find something before we leave with the magnet fishing setup. I feel like the closer to shore we get, the more likely there is gonna be something. We'll also have to probably pull it through the boat launch section itself a couple times because I'm sure someone's dropped something up in there. Oh yeah, we're stuck on a rock. Alright, we'll have to go to the other side and pull it out. This happens quite frequently. I'm sure Squirrel has dealt with this. Alright. I think we got it free. We'll pull it up, see if we got anything. And then I'll try and drag it through the boat launch. See if we get anything at all. see if we got anything here. More iron pyrite. Now I know what to call it though, instead of just little magnetic rocks. So that's the thing that came. So Rod and Squirrel, you might be able to give me some info on this. Is there any chance I catch like a good sized piece of iron pyrite that I could like break open and it would look like actual fool's gold? Because that would be a cool little catch to have with the magnet fishing setup. Or is it all just like the little rocks and people process it to look like the fool's gold? Like, I guess my question is, would there be a chance that I could actually catch a piece that looks like fool's gold? Because that would be kind of cool. Have your prayers for the biker guy. Oh, I'm missing a thing. I had to call 1D because there was an RTC between a car and a motorbike. Yeah, everyone make sure you put your prayers out for that. Obviously, that's not a great situation. Yeah. Have to watch out for it getting stuck between the rocks. That is true. Alright, I think I'm going to try and pull it. I think I'm going to try and pull it over by the boat launch. And I'm going to pull it up right now and see if there's anything on it. I know there's a lot of weeds and I don't want to get it stuck in there. So I'm going to paddle over to the boat launch area, pull it through the boat launch a couple times, see if there's any stuff down there. Yep, more iron pyrite, a whole bunch of it. None of that looks like fool's gold. No, not really. I put those rocks back in the water. Yep, well that's what I've been doing. I was just wondering if there was any chance I could pull out the piece that actually looks like fool's gold. But apparently, probably not. Alright, got as much of that off as we can. I'm going to stick that right there. Paddle over to the boat launch and see if we can get something in there. Because that's probably going to be a high percentage spot, because people might drop stuff out of the boat as they're docking and getting in and out. So we'll see. And then we'll have to head home. 38 thumbs up. Thank you guys. This has been a really, really fun live for me. Only one fish, but oh, there goes the boat. You'll see it right there in a second. There it is. Yeah, really weedy in this section. Got an itch in my ear. Every once in a while you might latch onto a piece of fool's gold. Oh, okay. Maybe it is a chance. I don't know. We'll see. I guess the only way to find out if it will ever happen is to keep magnet fishing and see if it does happen. So, gonna try right around the boat launch. A minute. And then, yeah. Go right around this area. You can see the bridge behind me there, and there. I'm gonna go right about, I'm gonna go like right next to it and then pull it under this floating dock here. Give that a try on both of these docks, and then once we do that, I'll probably head back. Pull it through here. Oh, there you go. Got a piece that might actually be fool's gold now. I think that might actually be a little piece of fool's gold. I'll have to clean that off when we get back and see if it is. But that's a decent sized chunk. And we got lots of the regular iron pyrite there. Oh, here you go. Here's another something. Huh. And a little one, too. Pull it next to this dock. We'll pull it right next to this dock, and then we will probably head home after that. Gotta make sure I avoid running into it with my rod tips. Mama Mission Discover reminding family obligations to head home soon. Yep, I'm on it. After I pull my magnet underneath this dock, I'm heading on home. Alright, pull it through there, see what we get. This will be our last attempt at catching something for the day, whether that be fish or magnet treasure. Oh, here you go. I don't know what this is, but this is a cooler looking rock. Oh, here you go. You got two really good little pieces of something. I don't know what they are. But this, I think this is a little piece of concrete. And this, I don't know what that is either, but two cool little rocks. I'll take them home and look at them, but I don't know what that may turn into. Could be nothing, could be something cool. But yeah, cooler looking little rocks. And I might drag this behind me, see if we can get some other cool rocks on our way back. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Gonna toss it right here. We'll drag it behind me on the way back and see if something else cool shows up. But that's about it for the day. The boat launch is right down there. Should be a pretty quick little paddle with the amount of wind helping me out. And yeah, we'll do that. Hellman's mayonnaise. Anything is possible, third account. Yep, the Hellman's mayonnaise account. I know the, I guess the lore is the technical term. I don't blame you there. Honestly, it's cloudy and cool right now here. Alright, sweet. Alright, well, now we're getting into the weedy section. So this is our actual last pull of the magnet fishing setup, and then we're going. Yeah, now we're up in the weeds. So we got some more rocks, nothing else cool, and some weeds. Toss this right there in the back of the boat and head on home. Here we go. Quick little paddle down to the boat launch. We got one smallmouth and a couple cool rocks on the magnet fishing setup. And yeah, we got to see some cool sights, got to do the first ever paddle in the folding kayak around the Schuylkill River. I'd say it was pretty good live. I appreciate all you guys stopping in. Make it back. Let's see how speedy we can get with this. With the wind at our back, me paddling, current helping out a little bit. Let's see how quickly we can move along here. I wish Miracle Whip was here. Uh-oh. We're starting the Miracle Whip versus Hellman's mayonnaise debate. Where are you at? What state? I am in Pennsylvania, southeastern part. I know you're probably at least partially familiar with Bob. Bob and I live about 25 to 30 minutes apart, depending on how traffic shakes out. So I'm fairly near all the places he fishes at. I'm in the Schuylkill River. Yeah, alright, now the wind's picking up. We're starting to really move. I'm gonna head down here to the boat launch. I think the guy with the carp rods has finally packed up and left, so I don't think I have to worry about that. We could just relax and drift as well, but I have a time obligation. I don't know what to call it. I have a family in Pennsylvania, in Kittening. I can't see, there's a glare. I think that's what it says. I was assuming somewhere north because it looks chilly there. Yeah, I mean, it's probably the cloud cover. It's not too bad. It's about 55-ish right now. Not too terrible. Family obligations. Yeah, there you go. I was losing my ability to speak coherently, so sometimes that happens. Usually I'm pretty decent, but sometimes I just can't speak right. We're almost back to the boat launch. I can see the truck in all its shining glory. I washed it on, was that Thursday? Yeah, I washed it on Thursday, so it's nice and shiny right now. I'm probably gonna close down the live at the boat launch so that way I don't have to deal with carrying the camera back and forth as I pack up the truck. I'm probably gonna, yeah, I might even pull the truck down to the boat launch and just chuck it from the water right into the truck. But yeah, we should be able to pack up pretty swiftly, get home, get everything ready, and head out to my family obligations. 40 thumbs up. We just hit 40. Thank you guys. We got 5 people in here. About to end the live. We're about 80 yards away from the boat launch where we came in. We're gonna close it down once we get back there and get on land. Had a nice little kayak fishing and kayak magnet fishing live here today. Super fun. Going to go now, Nolan. Take care. Thanks for coming in, Rod. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. I wonder if my dad has his car parked here or at the other end. Or maybe he just biked to here to start with. Because he was on the trail as we were fishing down in the river there. So, I don't know, it's possible his car's here as well. Alright, here is the boat launch. Gonna slow ourselves down a little bit and get ourselves oriented correctly and hop out of the boat and call it a day for this live stream. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Alright, here we are back at the boat launch. Going to pull ourselves right up in here. Yep, get right in there. Alright, got ourselves wedged in there as best as we can. See if I can stand up. Alright, I'm standing. Alright, I'm on land. I gotta get you guys up here. There we are. Alright. We have made it back to the shore. We're on dry ground, dry land, whatever you want to call it. There we are. We made it. There's the kayak in all its glory. The truck is back that way in the parking lot right there. And yeah, I'm going to end the live. Thank you guys all for coming in. I definitely appreciated the support today. We made some good progress towards that goal of hitting our 500 subscriber mark so I can be monetized. Caught a fish, caught some cool little rocks, which I'll have to take a look at and figure out what they are when we get home using the magnet setup. And yeah, we just had a fun time exploring the river. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to have another live here at the Schuylkill River on Thursday night. So make sure you come in for that. With all that being said, I'll see you guys later. I'm going to end the live. Have a good one.